really thinking like a green room backstage somewhere that you guys are going to get.
There's something wrong with society. Another media casualty. Well, here's a dose of reality. In the small town mentality.
Sorry, I hit the button and Gino was like mid-sentence. I was like, oh no, I already pushed the button.
That's all right.
Welcome to Small Town Mentality Podcast. I'm your host, Ben. Randy is here.
Hey, everybody. It's Silent Bob.
Hey, Ben and Randy. Thanks for having me.
And our guest for today is co-founder and business developer, Gino from Speedweed.
That's me.
Yeah.
I'm glad we got it.
Wikipedia you. Welcome to the show.
Thanks. So tell me, what's the show about? Give me an idea.
The show,
yeah.
The show is about you at this moment in time.
Right.
It's not really about anything.
It's a show about nothing, kind of like Seinfeld, but without any of the talent whatsoever.
I got it.
Or the timing.
I'll fit right in.
Or the delivery.
Or the delivery. Or the interesting. God, that was a good show.
I know. It's such a good show.
As a New Yorker, Seinfeld is from my hometown, Massapequa. And as a New Yorker, you know, growing up, seeing Seinfeld, you know, blow up so big and, you know, the whole show being based around New York City was really, you know, something special. I think that I probably hold that as one of my top 5 shows of all time.
Yeah, it was a good show. You catch a lot of reruns.
Yeah.
They're always on TV. Man.
In New York, they would have places everywhere that was a part of Seinfeld. You could go see. If you want to go see the Soup Nazi, you could actually go to the Soup Nazi, you know?
Yeah, I've heard that. Yeah, like even like I was saying, even still, like you're flipping to the channels, you see Seinfeld, you just kind of stop.
Yeah.
So it's always a good go-to if you got nothing going on. Anyways,
I always enjoyed it, man.
I mean, me and Gino have been talking for what 3-4 weeks, almost every day. So I feel like I know you already. But
let me go back 1 second. So one of the greatest nights of my life was at the Comedy Store, where for the first time in over 20 years, Seinfeld popped in, and he hadn't been on stage in over 20 years because he had a falling out with Mitzi Shore. And I got to witness that set that he went on for about an hour at 2 a.m. in the OR. And again, there was maybe 20 of us in the entire room. So it was really, really something once in a lifetime and unique. And you know, I'm very fortunate to get to see stuff like that.
How was the set?
It was great. I mean, mainly he talked about why he hadn't been to the store and his falling out with Mitzi, you know, and he did it in a hilarious way without any vindictiveness, although, you know, he would still put in his punches and I did wind up having the most successful show in the country, you know, because Mitzi banned him before he got successful. And then once Seinfeld hit, she didn't ban him. She wasn't giving him sets. And once Seinfeld hit, he thought that, you know, he would see Mitzi around in LA here, and he thought that she would start giving him spots, but she didn't. And so he kind of, I don't want to say was angry at her. That's not the right word. Again, I don't want to put words in his mouth. He did it in a very comedic way about their feud or whatever. That you know, even though he got to become the most successful comedian at the time, she stuck to her guns that she felt like he didn't belong on the main stage. You know, getting the sweet spots at the Comedy Store. So it was just interesting. And again, he told the story a lot funnier than I could relay it.
So for those of you who don't know Gino, he obviously Speedweed and some other entrepreneur endeavors. and but he hangs out at the Comedy Store all the time, and he has all these great stories about some of the most epic comedians you've ever heard of. So it's definitely fun to listen to. When Gino starts going off on some of the people he's hung out with, it's pretty great.
Again, I'm in a very fortunate position. I'm an entrepreneur. Everyone knows Speedweed because it's the sexiest business that I have. Of course, that's what puts me on Joe Rogan's program. It's what he talks about when he's put me on his Instagram and things like that. Even though me and him are good friends, of course, it's my business that he's shouting out. So for the fans, they see my business more than just our friendship. No one would care if he was just saying, "Hey, this is my buddy Gino." Who cares? But people care about, seeing when I give him a big, huge trunk of cannabis. The last one we got him was about $30,000 worth of cannabis. We refill it every November after he does Sober October. Then in November we refill it, and then we refill it on 420 as well. So that's one of my businesses. Again, gets me there, gets me a lot of media. It's got me on the cover of GQ magazine. Been on the cover of LA Times multiple times. Been on the cover of New York Times, as well as been on every network you could imagine on TV, doing interviews. MSNBC, CNN, E Network. Everyone you can think of. Again, for cannabis. So that's the sexy part of what I do that gets a lot of notoriety. But I also own a couple other companies. I own a candle company, a fulfillment company, and a studio. And my studio is Better Box Studios, which is here in the heart of Hollywood, where we do a lot of the shows for the Comedy Store. So I produce Jeremiah Wonders, which is part of the Kill Tony crew. Jeremiah Watkins, as well as Josh Wolf. At my studio, we do Kurt Metzger. We do all of Freddie Prinze Jr.'s stuff. We do Adam Hunter, who does MMA Roasted. We do Kevin Mack's show. We do during COVID, we were doing Kill Tony here during the interim while the Comedy Store was closed. We were doing the roast battle here. And a bunch of other shows. So again, even though the Speedweed is the sexy part of what people care about in the media, behind the scenes in Hollywood, I do a lot of production. I mean, you can look up my IMDb page; it's as long as any actors from just producing a lot of shows. So I do sponsor a lot of shows that are at the Comedy Store. Just because these are my friends' shows and I want them to get the sponsorship, and I have that ability. And then with my relationships, I've been able to use my resources to help a lot of comics who aren't on the Joe Rogan level, that are coming up. I've been able to help them create great content that is helping them become an even bigger star.
Yeah, we've even talked about a sponsorship, but I told Gino, like, we don't have any listeners in LA, so that's not going to work out too well for you on your end.
Just give me one order in LA. That's small town mentality, and we'll put a sponsorship in.
Yeah. Tell them we sent you.
Now go back to $30,000 worth of weed.
Yeah. If you go onto Joe's Instagram, just last week he posted a picture of me refilling the box. If you went back to November, there's a video with 2 million views of him opening the box, and it lights up, and it's like it's a really nice presentation. It's a military locker. Again, as you open it, it lights up. On the top row, I have everything that I sponsor with. So you got 21 blunts there. You got 21 eighths, to give away. A bunch of edibles. The edibles he made a video of. It was me telling them how they work. One of them is it's a lollipop. After you eat the lollipop, you plant the stick, and it grows a cannabis plant. So
nice.
It has a seed embedded in the stick. So that's what what I was showcasing, and that's what he took a video of me putting into the box. So now that's the top row. Under that is grab
It's just
bags.
the top row.
Grab bags for everyone who's on the show. So everyone who's on the show that's a smoker gets a to-go bag that has an ace of pre-rolls in it, a bunch of edibles, a vape, all that kind of stuff.
Yeah, I've you do a lot of stuff with Kill Tony where you're like always giving away $500 worth of speed weed and stuff like that. Tons of giveaways and cool stuff like that.
So
It just sounds like
pre-COVID, we had I don't even know how many weeks in a row of sold out Kill Tonys. The momentum was tremendous. So for the last year and a half, I've been giving out $500 a box like this, filled with products, about $500 worth of value to a member of the audience every single night. So, so it's unfortunate with COVID that we don't have live audiences anymore. I'm not able to give it out and send it somewhere. It has to be someone who's 21, can prove it, is able to have cannabis.
Yeah, in a place that has it legalized.
Yeah, in regulation, you can't send anything through the mail.
Yeah. So it's pretty much LA exclusive for the cool speedweed stuff.
For the cool speedweed stuff. However, I do have a CBD line that's launching nationally, called Fruitful CBD, and that'll be ready probably in the next 30 days. We're just waiting for the clearinghouse for the credit cards to be attached. But that's going to be linked right on speedweed.com. So if you do want any kind of CBD products, I'll have those, including pre-rolls. So if you want to just smoke CBD pre-rolls, you'll be able to.
I'll keep us in mind for that. Anyways, I was going to ask you where it all started, because I think that's one story I haven't heard from you yet, is like, how did you guys get into Speedweed in the first place?
So I'm from New York, New Yorker, and my business previous to living out in California was a software company, and me and my brother were partners in it. And the financial crisis hit in 2008, and I was working mainly with government clients. My software company was one of 3 approved to sell to Congress. So when the financial crisis hit, Congress and the government stopped paying their bills. For a small software company, when I got approved to sell to Congress, it's one of 3 companies. I thought I hit the big one, and that's it. But then in 2008, Congress stopped paying their bills, as well as other government agencies. So I had to make a decision on what to do. So I decided I was going to move out from New York back out to California, where my brother was, and we'll just start figuring out how to write software for non-government clients, things like that. So I moved out to California. And by the way, the reason the other 2 companies that were approved to sell Congress, my biggest competitor was a company called Lockheed Martin, who, as everyone knows, is one of the largest companies in the world. They make planes and weapons and all sorts of stuff. So they could afford to get through the financial crisis and not get paid on software, whereas a small company like mine with 10 people wouldn't be able to survive. So anyway, I moved out to California to be closer to my brother, decide, hey, what kind of turn are we going to take in our businesses? Because we've always been entrepreneurs. Since I've been a grower, even though I was working in New York for doing government software, I was still counterculture. I had a grow going. The legality in New York wasn't there, so it was an underground thing. I had to learn how to grow without any YouTube. There was no YouTube. There was no one to talk to. I had to learn how to do it with black and white books, that were out in the early 90s. So when I got to California, I said, it's legal here. I'm just going to start a grow out here, and I'll put a few extra $1,000 a month in our pocket from a grow, because I could just go sell it to a dispensary at that point. Again, we're talking 2008. It's the beginning of the cannabis boom in California, the green rush. So it was kind of like the Wild West. If you had good product, you could sell it anywhere you want, no regulation. So I did that, and my brother, who's my partner, always rented the houses in New York for me that I worked with. So when I got to California, he said, okay, so where are you going to put it up? You got a place that you want to rent to do it? I said, no, I'm just going to do it here in your apartment. And he said, what? I said, oh, I'm going to take over this living room for 4 months and let's see what happens. Let's make a few $1,000s, and then we'll move it out. So I took over his living room. I was sleeping on his couch because I was selling my house in New York, and I was traveling back and forth. I had a government job given to me by Eliot Spitzer, a former governor of New York, who wound up in some trouble. I was the gambling inspector of New York for the Long Island district. Now, it turns out there's no gambling in New York. So I had this nice cushy job where I didn't have to do much. But what I did have to do was go inspect bingos. That's all they have on Long Island for gambling. So I used to go get my ass pinched by little old ladies and make sure people weren't stealing from them. But people were always stealing from them. But that's a whole nother story. We had to send someone to jail for stealing $500,000. So anyway, I had this great job. So I would fly back and forth as I put up this grow. So I'd spend 2 weeks in New York, 2 weeks in California, 2 weeks in New York, 2 weeks in California. So I put up this grow in a tent, put a lot of money into it to start out, and I had to let my brother, who was my partner again, take care of the grow while I was in New York. So right near the end of the grow, I'm coming back from one of my New York trips again. After 2 weeks, I get back to the grow and I unzip the tent. And as I unzip it, I see the worst thing you could see: spider webs. Now, people go, "Oh, spiders! Why is that the worst thing?" When I said to my brother, "Why didn't you tell me there was webs here?" He said, "Oh, I figured it was spiders, so they eat bugs, so that's good for things." Turns out webs are never good for cannabis. Those are spider mites, and they eat through your cannabis. So I spent all the money I was traveling with, because I was waiting for my house to sell, on this grow, and now everything is ruined. What do I do? I did everything I could to try and save this grow. I used neem oil, which is organic type of insecticide. Didn't work. I went out and I bought thousands of ladybugs, and I released them in the tent inside my brother's apartment. Where you think a zipper holds things? Zipper doesn't hold anything. There was ladybugs everywhere. However, the ladybugs were eating the spider mites. It was working. It just wasn't working fast enough. So I had to invest in a predator mite, which are little creepy crawly things. I had to release them. Now remember, I'm sleeping on the couch 5 feet from this. So right now I have predator mites that I released 10,000 predator mites in there. It's like a scene out of Lord of the Rings. I have you open it up and you see these mites, which look like little crabs almost, on the plants, on their webs. And there are other mites coming up and fighting them, and they fight and eat each other. And then you have ladybugs swooping down and also eating them. So it was a crazy scene. Eventually got rid of all the mites. However, the cannabis turned out terrible. So I was like, what do? I can't sell it. I just lost 4 months of my life. I lost a big investment. Now I got to start over, with in the middle of the living room in California, So now we were coming into summertime. It was going to get hot. It was terrible. I was defeated. Now my brother, who's a Mensa member, very smart guy, has he likes to say he has a black belt in homework. Got right online, started looking up papers about cannabis, and he found a paper from the 70s about how to extract cannabinoids from cannabis, from a paper from Berkeley in the 70s. So he said, look, I'm going to go try and do this. I said, I never even heard of that in 2008. There was no such thing as concentrate. If you wanted to make brownies, you would do it by making butter with the leaves. It had nothing to do with extraction. So he went to the science store and set up an extraction lab right in our kitchen. Looked like Breaking Bad. So he extracts the cannabis, and out comes this oil. And I was like, great, what do we do with it now? Again, no one was doing oil back then or anything like that. And since we had oil, we said, well, we can make some edibles. And instead of making brownies or anything like that, we were the first ones to ever make gummy bears in California. First one to ever sell gummy bears in California. So we created this gummy bear line as well as a ton of other products. And since I come from a business background, in 2008, no one else was business minded in cannabis. It was all stoners going, hey, we're legal now, so let's, don't arrest us. But it was all still so stoner. You go into a dispensary, the edibles would be a brownie in saran wrap with an Avery label on it. You don't know who made that. Was that made in, on someone's kitchen with a cat crawling across the counter? It would say triple X. X doesn't mean anything. This isn't ninth grade math. You need to know milligrams. So what I did was I went out and I had a nutritionist test our products, and I used that nutritional information, and I made really nice printed bags that were vacuum sealed and professional, like you would see in any supermarket. So quickly, I started selling to dispensaries. I wound up selling to 60 dispensaries in 60 days, opened that many accounts. It's unheard of in cannabis these days. So that went well enough. And since I was not trying to hide, I put my website right on the packaging. I started getting just regular customers hitting me up personally. Hey, can you deliver these gummy bears? So Speedweed started as a gummy bear delivery service because people were just writing us directly. We said, all right, why don't we do this? Quickly, after 2 months of people ordering thousands and thousands of dollars of gummy bears, we said, why don't we just add cannabis and everything else to the menu? So a friend of mine, again, this is way back pre-regulation, who was a grower from NorCal, just gave me 2 pounds, said, pay me when after it's sold. We added them to the menu, and we were off to the races. Now, I was very fortunate that I had a lot of celebrity friendships, relationships. I built them really quickly once I got to California. So, me and Joe Rogan became pretty close around 2009. Of course, his celebrity endorsement was big. Miley Cyrus was smoking our stuff and Instagramming it when she was in her height of smoking. So that helped out a lot. As well as a ton of other celebrities. So Speedweed started becoming known as kind of like a cool little exclusive celebrity type of club, and gained a lot of momentum. Like I said, because of those celebrity endorsements and what we were doing, we were ahead of the curve. Everyone else was trying to just not get arrested, whereas we were embracing it as a business and applying real business principles to cannabis, whereas other people were cannabis people trying to figure out the business end. So because of that, we got a lot of notoriety and a lot of media attention. I think I might have meandered somewhere out there, but that's how Speedweed got started.
That's all good.
I'll say this: Speedweed got started by a terrible, terrible mistake, and thank God the grow went terrible, because if it didn't, I would have never gotten to that point.
That's how I feel like most businesses start somehow. Is like you fix a need.
Yeah.
You also created the problem, but you came up with an idea to fix the problem. So
And so one of the other things that happened was I was still running my software company and doing Speedweed at the same time. So I'd be running around Los Angeles on the phone with, a congressman's assistant trying to help them fix their printer, by the way, which had nothing to do with what my software, but I always had to fix other problems because they'd always think it was linked. So, and then after I'd get off the phone, I'd hang up the phone and I'd go sell gummy bears to a dispensary. And there was one particular time where we had a large deal, multiple thousands of dollars. And I came out of the dispensary, and I got a call from one of our clients in Minnesota who needed me to fly out to help them with their install. And the money I was going to get for that was about half of what the sale of these gummy bears just were. So I called my brother and I said, look, I got to tell you, I don't know if this is a side hustle anymore, because I have to fly out to Minnesota in the winter right now, and I have to fix their computer. It's 0 degrees weather, and we're going to get paid for that over a year if they pay their bills. I just sold all these gummy bears, and they already want more. All we got to do is sit in the kitchen and make gummy bears. So it started taking over. And because of it, we decided to just sell out our clientele to one of our other competitors in the government space, and moved on to cannabis.
now I've been hearing changing the subject a little bit, but I've been hearing pings in your background there. You're still playing poker right now?
I do play a lot of poker. That is what you're hearing. So I play poker online. Probably since COVID happened, probably I would say daily for a few hours a day, and I do pretty well. When poker was legal online, which is over 10 years ago, back when I was in New York. I played online semi-professionally, and at that point, you were able to track all your winnings, so people could look me up and see that I was in the top 1% of all players for a certain game called Omaha High-Low, which is sort of like Texas Hold'em. So if you know how to play Texas Hold'em, you could figure out how to play Omaha High-Low, but it's like multiple games at once is what I'll say. So I got invested in playing back then. Then they decided to make it illegal. So I haven't played in years online until COVID hit, and I decided to, hey, you know what? I'll give it a shot and start playing again. But there was nowhere to play online. So you had to find a place that allows you to play poker online, or you got to figure out how to play with your friends and Venmo the money, things like that. But since COVID started, I've been playing daily and really enjoying it.
Yeah, I was hearing the dings going off. I assume that's what it was. Gino hangs out with us in the Kill Tony Discord and plays. He's like playing stuff. We're singing karaoke, or
again with Better Box Studios, I'm fortunate. I'm able to spend time with you guys while you guys are on Discord. I'm here at the studio now. In my studio, besides the streaming media that we do for the comedians for the Comedy Store, I also have built another studio that you could do karaoke in, which we mainly use for fun at this point. However, pre-COVID, I was building out 3 studios within my studio. So now we'll see what happens after COVID calms down. Right now, I got a lot of shows going on, but I only need my one big studio for it.
Yeah, you gave us a tour one time. It's a really nice studio. It's so cool. He's got like secret passageways. It's a whole thing. Had to be there.
Yeah.
Had to be there for that one.
We do have secret passageways throughout the whole place. That's important. You need to be able to escape.
Yeah. Now I don't. Now I'm lost. I made you this ticker right here, and I was like, "Oh yeah, what was I going to ask him?" I was like in the middle of making stuff.
So I told you a lot about Speedweed and what I do and sort of stuff. But again, I feel like the most interesting thing is me just being in Hollywood and getting to be a fly on the wall around so many of the people that are admired, from music to acting and especially comedy. Since I sponsored all the live shows at the Comedy Store, 20 a month, including Joe Rogan's, the Sam Tripoli's, Jim Ross's. Again, I'm in a small space with no one but the most famous people in the world. And again, the conversations that you guys get to hear on podcasts are amazing. But when I have just me and Joey Diaz and Joe Rogan and a few other comedians in the green room, getting to hear those conversations is a really blessed, fortunate thing. So again, as a fly on the wall, I can see things that people really only wish for.
Yeah, you were talking about some of the celebrities, and you told me that you're a fan of Alex Jones, and I told you Randy here does a great Alex Jones.
Here, Randy.
I actually had an idea for something. Did you see the Ben Shapiro thing where he was talking about wet pussies being a medical condition?
Oh, yeah, something like that, yeah.
I actually had an idea for a skit, and there's no way I could put it together, but it was a skit where they're playing poker. It's Ben Shapiro, Alex Jones, Joe Rogan, and Jordan Peterson.
Yeah.
And it's like, okay, well, when you're down there and you're touching her private area and it's wet and you're like, oh no, she has a medical condition. Okay, what are you talking about, medical condition? All right, answer me this. Are you a virgin? Oh my God, that is unacceptable. Okay, I cannot have my friend Ben being a virgin. This is unacceptable. This is part of the globalist agenda. I can't take it. No, we are going to get this fixed. We're going to fix this right now, ladies and gentlemen. We're going to fix this from now on. Your dick is my dick. We're going to get you laid.
That's a good impression. You're pretty spot on.
Your dick is my dick is going down on the pad.
That was the line from 40-Year-Old Virgin. You ever saw that?
Yeah, I just don't remember that line in it. Yeah, anyways, that's a pretty good skit. I always tell him he should do videos of these, do different characters on TikTok and stuff. I think he'd do all right.
I think you should. Important to gotta get the content out there.
I still want to do the detective with Ben Shapiro and Alex Jones as a buddy cop movie.
And how would that go?
All right, we know where the drugs are going, but we know it goes a lot deeper than that. We know that these people are demons and they are coming straight from hell, and we will not take it anymore. Okay, Ben. Alex, calm down. Alex, we can't just go in there without a warrant, okay? If we go in there without a warrant, you know what's going to happen? What's going to happen is they're going to walk. They're going to walk free. I don't want that, and you don't want that. More on the Fourth Amendment in a moment. But first, let's talk about shaving. The Dollar Shave Club.
So, of course, on Joe Rogan 9/11 with Alex Jones, he smoked my joints. That's an accolade for me that I know.
Yeah.
Joe once said to me, he said it to me last year. Was a really nice thing for him to say. He said, because of your blunts, it sparked some of the most important conversations of the entire century. And I said, that's really, something that touches me, because just to be one small sliver, I know I'm not even 1%, 0.0001%, influence on the entire zeitgeist. That's, I think, something special. Now, of course, I'm just delivering cannabis, but I'm glad that it gets equated that way.
I started yelling like Alex Jones, and all the movement in the other room just stopped.
I was going to say, was it one of your joints that Elon Musk smoked?
Well, that was a blunt, but yeah.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah.
Nice.
Yeah. That's cool. You made him unintentionally step down as CEO for a couple of months.
It's a small part of the zeitgeist, small part, but but by the way, his stock went way back up to 420. So actually, I think is something to recognize.
Yeah, I thought that was funny. He tried his first blunt, I guess, first try, marijuana on Joe Rogan's podcast, and then like a week later had to step down as CEO for like a month or two. I can't remember. They were upset about that.
I don't think that was his first time, although he didn't really know what he was doing.
Yeah, it was a very cool conversation, though.
Yeah, I was pretty taken by the part where he was talking about life being a simulation, and if life is a simulation, then how boring is the real world?
Yeah,
this is the video game.
I agree. I do think that I believe in simulation theory probably more than any other possibility for us. I don't know what that says about me, but I do think we are living in a simulation.
I think about it a lot too. Matrix made it real big, like almost real for people. I think after that came out, everybody was like, we're all hooked up to machines. Gino was saying that he might have to head out early. I don't know how much time he got left, but
no, I'm good for at least another 15, 20 minutes, or whenever you guys are ready. I don't want to be taking up the whole podcast if you got other stuff going on.
No, you're good.
No, this is pretty much it.
Yeah, this is pretty much all we do. You said you were going to like a drive-in theater. Is it like an actual movie or a comedy drive-in?
So we actually created a drive-in by projecting movies on the onto the back of the Andaz, which is right next door to the Comedy Store. Let's see here. So what we do is every week we put up a classic movie. We did Richard Pryor Live on the Sunset Strip. We did Almost Famous. Tonight we're doing Goodfellas because it's the San Gennaro Festival. Let's see. What else? We did Thelma and Louise as well. It's something to do that's socially distanced. You got to be able to start getting back to some kind of normalcy. We're lucky here because of the weather in LA, so we're able to do it probably, for the considerable future here throughout the winter. So that's right next door to the Comedy Store, and I was doing some live comedy with it. I had Ali Makovsky on and Annie Letterman, but they're not allowing that right now, so the city shut that part down. So now we're just doing, what we can, which is going to be movies until they allow us to put comedy back in there again.
So that's weird to me that they'll allow you to stare at a screen with a picture or like a building with a picture on it, but not somebody standing in front of that building. That's just odd. It's an odd thing.
So I wanted to show you guys the box that I gave to Joe. Might make it a little better. Let's see if this will work.
All right. If you guys can't see that, you just.
All right, hold on.
This is Gino from Speedweed, and this is the new Speedweed JRE box. Lay it on him, Gino. Look at the lights. Look at the lights, folks.
21 blood salute.
And lift the sucker up so we can see. And now when the guests come,
That's presentation.
Yeah.
So with uplift rolls, tell them what's in there.
Uplift relax. Inside each one of these is eighth of pre-rolls from Doug, some edibles, and also you got inside, let's see, eighth of pre-rolls, this half-lit edible. Once you're done, you plant the stick, add water, you're growing your own weed.
What?
Living in the future here.
So you eat the lollipop and then plant the stick and it grows weed.
That's
outstanding. And then this is weed wine. They're not fucking around here in California. It's pink.
Weed wine.
Pink cannabis infused. The brand is Stonebush. So anyway, so that's the box that I fill up. Hopefully, we didn't create any kind of copyright violation.
No, I think it came in all right. Yeah.
Yeah, I think. It's right off of his Instagram. So,
so go to Joe Rogan's Instagram and scroll. Find. I'm sure he posts a lot. Though.
Well, we mentioned Joe Rogan. Now it's time to mention Tony Hawk.
Oh yeah, yeah.
because the Tony Hawk game came out today.
Oh,
We-
the Tony Hawk. I mean, back in the day, that was my number
I know.
one jam back on PlayStation 1.
Hell
Was
yeah.
that
Yeah.
is that when it first came out? You know, I'm in my 40s, so you know, I think that I've probably seen a lot more video games iteration. Did you guys even remember the original Tony Hawk?
Oh, hell yeah.
Oh yeah, yeah.
That was my childhood, man.
Yep, loved it.
But yeah, the remaster came out today. It's 1 and 2 both together, and I've
Oh,
got that
nice.
shit. We made a last minute run to
How
Walmart.
much is it? Yeah, I was gonna say how
It
much
was like
is
$30.
it? All right, I might
So-
actually buy that too.
We made a last minute run to Walmart to get this damn game because I didn't know it came out today. I thought it came out next month, and it's just I'm just on the edge of my seat waiting for it to like set up and download on
Okay.
PlayStation. I know I was there and I was tired. I've had a rough day. My legs are tired. I'm hot. It's hotter than hell right now. And we're walking around, and I'm tired doing all this walking around. And right as I think about how tired I am of walking around, I see a guy in one of those scooters, and he's got no legs. And I felt like such an asshole because I could have got one of those fucking scooters,
Yeah, true.
and I would have been riding around. So
Yeah, it's a good way to look at life.
I tore my calf muscle a few weeks back, and I had the rider, and I looked fine. Obviously, you know, you can't tell. But in the supermarket, I had to ride around on one of those carts, and people were staring me down, you know, like I was just going for a joyride, but I couldn't walk.
It's glaucoma.
Yeah.
Anyways,
yeah, I got a jacked up knee from a fall from a few years ago, and I'm scared that one day it's going to get bad enough that I have to ride around in those things, and people are just going to assume it's because I'm fat.
I mean, I enjoyed the ride. It wasn't bad. Certainly, if everyone was on one of those, they'd enjoy it.
back when I was like in my early 20s, I used to work at Walmart, and we just ride those around for fun. Like the night shift, we'd be there like 2 or 3 in the morning, just riding them around.
I can see that. I worked at the warehouse, and we had the rideable pallet jacks
Mm.
that you could just ride around, and that was hellaciously fun, man.
You ever had a thing at your job that you could ride around?
Well, my first job
A private jet, maybe?
as a kid, I worked in a beer distributor, and I used to drive the high-low. Of course, I wasn't allowed to, but we would drive that thing and do donuts in the parking lot and things like that. I really enjoyed that job. We would stack the pallets of beer cases so high that they would be about 20 feet high or so, and we would make it so that you could get to the back of them and get to the top. And me and a few of my friends that went to high school all worked together. We would take naps on top of the pallets because the boss couldn't see us up there, and he was drunk usually. So one of my favorite jobs. It was one of the only jobs I ever had because I've been an entrepreneur since 21. So
I wish.
yeah, so that was one of the first and only jobs I ever had.
I think I'll have to talk to you more in depth one of these days about entrepreneurship and all that stuff, because I've been interested in that stuff my entire life. I've always wanted to have my own online type business, but we can do that another time. The podcast has heard me talk about that hundreds of times.
Anyone can do it. It just takes devotion, you know, dedication to the time. That's all. You know, there's a saying that I'm not sure who it gets attributed to, but it's an entrepreneur is the only person who will work 80 hours a week to avoid working 40 hours a week.
Yeah.
You know, and that's important, you know, because you're really never done. So, you know, as soon as I'm done at the Ondas tonight, I'll be back in Better Box working. I'll be sitting here playing poker. Maddie will probably be doing karaoke, and I'll be in and out of there. But I'll also be working on one of our online businesses that sells things through Amazon. That you know, I have to you know, work on it. And you know, we're shipping out a whole bunch of products, and you know, I have to use special tools to make sure all the products are clean and appropriately packaged for Amazon, because Amazon Fulfilled by Amazon is called the FBA program.
Yeah, that's what I've been interested in.
when you send things in, they need to be correct. And I know as a consumer, I want to get products that when I open it,
Did we lose them? Oh,
Oh,
that
kinda.
you're extremely happy with it. I don't want to see dented boxes. I don't want to see stickers on things, and with the FBA program, a lot of times what you're doing is you're selling products that are bought in bulk or gotten clearance, things like that.
Alibaba.
Yeah, so it's important to make sure as an
Yeah,
entrepreneur, give your consumer the most consistent experience. Every time they open a box from your company, they should be happy to open that box and be excited about what they paid for.
Speaking of opening boxes, go to ballwash.com. Use promo code STMPOD at checkout. Save yourself 15%. They have nuts, butts, and body wash, nut rub, solid cologne, and sack spray to neutralize odor. Take care of your balls, people.
you've been on point with these segues lately.
Thank you. Ballwash.com, promo code STMPOD at checkout.
Just smoothly transition right into the promotion. That was well done.
This time I didn't put up the thing, though. That was my bad. But now it's up there. Anyways, yeah, that's my my exact business model that I've always wanted to get into is Amazon FBA. And I've talked about it quite a few times. But yeah, I wouldn't mind actually doing like a one-on-one sometime and actually get in depth with you on some stuff like that, if you wouldn't mind.
Sure. And so one of my other companies is a candle company that sponsors a lot of the shows. That's called Damn Good Candle Company, damngoodco.com, where you can buy our candles. We had a Tony Hinchcliffe candle. We have a few celebrity candles. But that's one of the things that we fulfill on Amazon as well. So besides just having my own e-commerce store for the candles, if you just want to buy them on Amazon, you can. It doesn't matter to me because that on Amazon, they take care of the advertising. You don't have to do anything. You're sending them into the Fulfilled by Amazon program. And once it's there, you're pretty much done. So it is if you follow the steps the right way and pick the right products, it's definitely a lucrative way to make money, especially as a side hustle during COVID.
Yeah. Yeah, I'm very interested in that.
And for me, that's something that the FBA program is something that I was interested in to help someone else learn how to do it. So they could have their own side hustle, and it became something that was so interesting to me that I'm just adding it into the repertoire of the different businesses that we have.
Yeah, and I didn't know how in depth you wanted to get on this show, but I know you are recording an EP right now, aren't you, for somebody?
I don't know actually.
Okay, yeah, we won't get into it then. That's an off-air conversation, but it's very cool, and I will tell Randy when we're not recording.
Okay.
But yeah, you definitely do a bunch of cool stuff, and you got a bunch of different side things. Multiple incomes is the way to go. You have multiple streams of income.
Yeah,
it's definitely the way to go. And I'm trying, but my stocks are down. I don't have a side hustle, and I'm just working 80 hours a week just cause. So
yeah,
I have to ask for days off, which I hate.
I have no nose for the market. I mean, my background is in print journalism, for God's sake. Newspapers are dead. I didn't even have the sense to go into broadcasting.
Yeah, well,
okay.
Yeah, he's going.
It's up to you.
Does that mean you got to go?
Well, Maddie's here. We're going to be going to the drive-in theater. You want to say hello to the podcast world?
Thank you.
Hi. Hello.
She's all Barbie. Can we see the shirt?
Yeah.
Barbie. It says Barbie down in red there. You can't really see it.
And then
And
my phone case is Barbie.
You have to look really close to read it.
Welcome to LA, guys.
They're like, look ridiculous.
Yeah, I like Maddie. She's the only one that laughs at my jokes. So.
Well, so after the Ondas, typically we go down to the Comedy Store if something's going on there and broadcast from there. you know, that like I said, I get to be a fly on the wall. I'm glad that I could broadcast to you guys in the world, and you know, that wants to see and get to see a little piece of what I can show. I mean, a lot of things, of course, I can't show, but just, you know, for people who are out there in the world that haven't had a chance to get to LA or get to hear about the Comedy Store and all these podcasts, all these comedians. This way they get to kind of get a glimpse into, you know, the world of where all this is happening. You know, it's a really special place.
Yeah, we didn't even get into all of the stories you probably have with some of the greatest comedians there ever was.
Sure.
And I don't think we'll have enough time before you have to go to get into all of that. But
well, you know,
I'd love to
again,
have you on again.
I do have to go, but I'm happy to sit on and talk to you guys at any time, you know.
Yeah, I mean, you've met some of the best out there.
Well, no, I appreciate the stories about starting your business, man. I don't know if you noticed, I was over here taking notes.
Yeah.
That's great. You know, again, all it takes is determination. That's all. You know, a lot of people see the obstacles that it takes and you know, give up. I've been really fortunate to also have my brother and my sister-in-law as my partners, who are a lot smarter than I am. You know, so I get to be more on the production side of things, where they get to be more on the admin side of things. You know, I'm the face of the companies and get the word out, and they're the ones who run it. You know, they manage all of our employees and things like that. So it's good to also, as you grow, to have a good team. And again, been very fortunate that way. But anyone could be an entrepreneur. Anyone could start, and they should. I mean, I always felt like you would be undervaluing your time once someone says, "I'll pay you this much in an hour's time," because that limits you. You know, that means that's all you're going to get. Even if you start getting raises, it's not going to be for double. It's not going to be for triple. You know, so the only way to really stack money on top of more money is to do it on your own, to figure out a way to build wealth that isn't based on someone just saying an hour of your time is worth $25, $45, whatever.
Yeah. Yeah, that's great advice. Do you want to go ahead and plug all your stuff and make sure people know where to find you?
Yeah, nothing really to plug. Speedweed.com if you're in LA. If you're looking for CBD stuff, we're going to have that linked as well in the next 30 days, and that'll be all over the country. If you want to go to and talk to me on any of social media, there's the Instagram, speedweed.la. My personal is where's_Gino. I guess I put it in incorrectly, not _, where's_Gino. And Twitter is @Speedweed. So happy to come on again anytime, guys. It's been a pleasure.
Better Box Studios and Deb, what is it? damngoodco.com.
You want candles? damngoodco.com. betterboxtv.com is the studio, and you know, certainly anything you guys are interested in, hit me up on the DMs. I'm happy to talk to all the people out there.
All right. Well, thanks for coming on. It was good. It was great to see you. We'll probably close out the show for a little bit and do our plugs in a bit. But yeah, go ahead and take off. Thanks for coming. We'll probably chat at you tomorrow.
Thanks, guys. Appreciate it.
Bye. See ya. All right. It's just me and Randy time.
Okay.
Good old me and Randy time. Gotta love the
I actually wanted to start an argument with you, but I also know
Okay.
you wanted to start doing patron only shows.
Yeah.
So I'm thinking for the first patron only show, we can do Superman versus Batman.
Let me get rid of this real
Because,
fast because it's covering our faces. There we go.
What happened?
This thing. Oh, I guess we could leave it on. It's not too bad. Oh well.
I was thinking for the first patron show, we could do Batman versus Superman because you're a Batman fan and I'm a Superman fan.
Okay.
I figured we'd just spend a half hour to an hour just arguing about it.
Yeah, we are going to try to start getting into more Patreon stuff because I've had Patreon with whatever I put on there in the beginning. It's been like 2 years. We've got a couple patrons now. They don't get anything for their money. So I was going to be like, I'm just going to start calling in the Discord from the truck or something and doing something that way. But We'll see what happens. Maybe I'll grab
It
some
could
people
work.
from the Discord. Shout out to K and Z, by the way, for being our only patrons, and Brian still from the Herfcast. You guys are awesome. And all they want from us is good content, which I apologize
Yeah,
ahead of time.
I'm sorry for your loss.
Yeah. He was Kay told me that all the money he's been giving us went to the tattoo that I got because apparently he enjoyed seeing me in pain. So maybe I'll just keep doing stuff like
You
that.
just have to get like tattoos every week until you're just covered in ink. Like,
Yeah.
you got them all over your face.
Yeah. Somebody else told me that they would come in and give me a free tattoo, but he's not licensed. So
Oh yeah, jailhouse tat. All right.
yeah. It's kind of, I know the guy. He seems like an all right kid, but I don't know if I want to get a tattoo like that.
Probably best to be above board with that kind of shit.
Yeah.
Man. You want to be on the books with it. You don't want to. You want to play around with that, even if he, even if he knows what he's doing. It's nothing personal.
I went to, oh yeah, by the way, I got a new vape tank. It's the Freemax. It's pretty sweet. I got that today. Shout out to A Witch's Vape Shop because Holly's awesome. She's always hooking it up with cool stuff. So if you're ever in downtown Evanston, Wyoming, go to A Witch's Vape Shop. Tell her I sent you, and nothing will happen for you, but she'll know that I sent you.
Yeah. Well, I shoehorned my Walmart joke in there. I don't know
Okay.
how
yeah, I
well
see.
that delivery went, but yeah, shoehorned a Walmart joke in there. But I had another incident from Walmart that I wanted to share.
Okay.
There was this gorgeous, and I don't know if it's because the car show or what,
If it was the mask or,
gorgeous new Mustang
oh, okay. I thought you were going to talk about
driving through the parking lot,
woman.
and me and Emily were both staring at this Mustang. We're getting ready to drive off, and we both stop, and we're about to get in the car, and we're just staring at it as it drives by. And I just had these moments because I have moments. I'll just say it. I don't give a fuck.
Okay.
So I just had this moment. I just yelled, "Hey, you want to drive by one more time? We want another look." And Mustang turns the corner, and it's this blonde girl who's about in her 20s. I was expecting some dude that looks like you.
Okay.
And it was like a blonde girl in her 20s, and I'm like, "Oh
I have
shit!"
driving a Mustang vibe.
Does she know I'm talking about her, or does she know I'm talking about the car? Or does she think I'm talking about her? And at that point, I'm like a kid who just threw a baseball through his neighbor's window. I'm like, "Run! Let's just floor it. Let's go.
Speaking of the car show, I went. That's why I've got this green wristband. Shout out to the Evanston Car Show. Johnny, he was trying hard this year to put it together, but they couldn't do Main Street because of COVID this year. So they were just trying to figure something out. So we went down there and checked out everybody's car, talked to some of the car guys that I know.
Which is weird because as far as activities go, car shows should be one of the safer ones.
Yeah, you'd
At
think
least
so.
you'd think.
I don't know. But speaking of car shows and cars, I got a new car that I'm planning on putting in a car show here soon. Hopefully by next year, I'll be able to go into some of the car shows. But yeah, it's going to be a lot of work. Me and a buddy are going to try to turn it over this week. And I think tomorrow night, we're going to drink a bunch of beer in the garage and see if we can't get the thing to turn over. So that'll be fun.
Yeah, it should be.
A lot of money, a lot of time, a lot of fun, hopefully, when it's done.
Yeah, but it'll be worth it, I'm sure. That's
1973 Volkswagen Super Beetle, Wolfsburg edition. It was my grandpa's. It was handed down to me because they didn't know which kid to give it to, and my mom didn't want everybody fighting over it. And I convinced everybody that it should go to me. And here we are.
Yeah.
Now I have it. So let's see what happens. The problem is my mom's car broke on the way here delivering it to us. And they've spent all week trying to figure out how they're going to get home. They got the truck shipped home. And so that's in California. But they're just still here. They've been borrowing my car, they don't know if they're going to buy a new one, rent one, what, but they've been looking around. And so they've spent the whole week doing that. And I mean, they came down for a week vacation to bring me the bug, and I have not seen them more than 10 minutes since they've been here because they've been running around trying to figure out their lives and how to get home. So that's been fun. Did you have vacations that turn into a pain in the ass?
Oh yeah, those are always. And then you need a vacation. Then going back feels like the vacation.
Yeah, vacation from your vacation.
Exactly. I don't know. I'd come by and help you out, but you know, my stepdad was a mechanic. He taught me everything he knows, but I didn't learn a damn bit of it.
Yeah,
He taught me. I just didn't learn it.
my dad wasn't really around much. Anyways, moving on.
I was just a little shithead growing up, man. I won't even lie.
I just have daddy issues. Nah, he's fine. Everything's fine.
That's why you keep calling me daddy.
Yeah.
All right.
Speaking of daddy issues, go to spunkloop.com. Use promo code SDHipPod at checkout.
Again with the transitions, you're getting better at these.
Spunklube.com, our original sponsor, who is still around today. I've got so much lube that I could fit a whale through a doorway. I don't know what the fuck an analogy that is. Spunklube.com, so save yourself 15% at checkout. SDHipPod. I don't know why there was a daddy issue. Running out of steam here.
I don't know. You ever fart so hard it clears your sinuses?
I breathe in.
I wouldn't do that right now. That's
I just breathe in. No, I don't. I can't say I
did
have.
you shit your pants? No, I just blew my nose. That's what happened. It's like thanks to COVID, all my jokes are going to be about Walmart farts and TV. That's
You
it.
should have
Just,
a YouTube channel called "Thanks to COVID"
thanks to COVID.
and it'd be a whole segment. Or I guess we could do that on the show if you want to do a separate segment.
Like thanks to 2020. This has been a morbid ass fucking year, man.
Low key fuck 2020. Anybody hear that song?
I have not.
TikTok vibes. Anyways, oh man, my wife has been saying a lot of TikTok things.
Uh-huh.
Like she'll be chilling. We were at her mom's house earlier today, and she goes, "It was the cat hair for me. It's a TikTok thing." And I was like, "There's no way your mom understands what the hell you're talking about right now, because unless you're like deep into TikTok, you have no idea what that reference is." So shout out, I guess, if you understand these references. And I keep hearing songs. Like we were at the car show and they played like the original country song, but all I kept hearing was the horrible TikTok lyrics that somebody dubbed over.
Which song is this?
It's a country song. I couldn't tell you the name of the song.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
I don't know because I fell off with the TikTok thing, man.
Oh, it's she was looking like a crack hoe. I fucked her in the asshole. That's the only version of the song I know.
Okay.
But apparently it's a real song. And they started playing it at the car show, and I was like, wait, they're playing this horrible song right now?
That's got to mess you up a little bit at least.
Anyways, so if you're into TikTok, if not,
Because everything
fuck
else,
yourself.
yeah. Because at this point, everything I've got is like fart jokes and jokes about fucking Star Trek. That's
Fart
all my
track?
new material.
Are you still writing? Still writing?
I'm
Waiting
still
for it?
writing. It just depends. It's most of my material just comes from fucked up shit that happens to me because I'm a shit magnet, and so you can't really go out and do anything. So it's really hard to come up with new material unless you're just like sitting there trying to write. But it's always when I sit there and try to think of jokes, man, that's always my weakest shit. And
There you go. There's another shit joke. You just
yeah, exactly.
Came out with.
But no, I did have a delivery where I went to someone and they were like all just hanging out and playing around in a pool on a hot day. My car doesn't have fucking air conditioning. So I'm just sitting there driving by this place, giving them the death glare. Because the last time I was in a fucking pool, my coworkers were betting on how soon I'd kill myself. That's the last fucking pool I was in.
Yeah, I was going to write. Sorry, I'm moving on. I was going to write a minute for Kill Tony, and he was supposed to be here on the 11th. So I was trying to think, like, do I want to try to go up? Do I not want to try to go up? And then they canceled it because it was too interactive, and they replaced it with just Tony Hinchcliffe coming down here and doing 4 shows in Salt Lake at Wise Guys. So I emailed Keith back because I think he takes care of all the emails over there at Wise Guys. He emailed me and said, what do you want to do? Do you want to just trade it in for this ticket, or do you want a different show, or do you want your money back? And I was like, just give me the 9:30 Friday. So we might have to do the show early next week. Oh, you might not even do the show next week.
Well, we'll see what happens then. But right now, we've got to go, ladies and gentlemen. My Tony Hawk game just downloaded.
But first,
I'm kidding. I'm not in a hurry. I'm
no,
kidding.
you're good. I might actually go home and download the same thing. But yeah, I was gonna change or I didn't know what I want to do, but I actually ended up going to that. I'm just gonna go to Tony Hinchcliffe at 9:30 on Friday. That's the whole point of this story.
All right.
I'm gonna go to Kill Tony. Speaking of Gino and Kill Tony and Tony Hinchcliffe and all that.
Oh no, I'll just sit here in the studio by myself, making fun of different voices and shit.
Okay. Do you think you could do an hour show by yourself?
I don't know.
Like
I don't know. I would
Bill Burr does?
I don't know. I don't think I could. But then again, I never do until I've done it. You know, you just got to shit your pants and dive in.
Man, I can talk to myself in my head sometimes, but I don't think I could carry on a conversation. I mean, I even tried. So I did a live last night or the night before, I can't remember, on our Instagram. And I was like, yeah, maybe I'll just hop on live, answer some questions or whatever. I guess it was a little late. It was like 10:30, but one person got on and watched. Shout out to Bailey. One person got on and watched and was talking to me. And I was like, oh, this plan went very well.
Oh yeah, I can see that. I mean, 10:30 our time. That's like half the country is past midnight at that point.
Yeah, and I was like trying to have a conversation with myself while I was driving, and it just was not working out for me. Because I just pointed the camera at the road, and I was like just talking to the ether with one person watching.
I can see ups and downs on each
on the camera because I'm driving. Yeah,
that too. Yeah. No, I can see ups and downs on each thing because it's like when we're doing a show right here. Like one of the big things is I never know when to jump in.
Yeah,
because I don't like to interrupt people.
That's a big thing.
Like a lot
I
of
had
times with these. Yeah,
I was
just have to jump in,
right
exactly.
in on you. Yeah.
But yeah, it seems like with podcasts, that's just the nature of the beast. It's not really rude. You're just in the game,
trying to get your voice out there.
Right.
Yeah. When Gino was talking, I had like all these jokes I wanted to try. Fun fact for the people at home. Like I mentioned earlier, me and Gino talk like every day almost on Discord and stuff. Never laughs at my jokes. So I held back and I didn't want to interrupt him because I was going to interrupt him with a bunch of stupid jokes.
Yeah, I threw a few out there and you could have warned me that he never laughs at your jokes, man.
Yeah, he doesn't. He just stares at me.
But
I'm
no,
like, okay, I'll see myself out. Thanks, Gino.
I was going to throw one in there about fucking going from sober October to can't remember September.
Yeah.
Or November, excuse me.
All right. Well, Tony Hawk's out. I want to go home. My mom's making fettuccine. When your mom's in town, everyone here is family. I don't know.
I'm going to go to Ben's house and get some unlimited breadsticks.
Yeah. But yeah, I want to go spend some time with my mom. I want to play some video games.
Which that is bullshit. That is bullshit, Olive Garden. When you're here, you're a family. Not once did anyone who looked anything like my mother waved a fucking knife in my face and told me I was a mistake. Okay. I want to feel like family when I go eat there. Okay.
True. But yeah, we're going to get the fuck out of here.
Just kidding. Love you, Mom.
Sorry about last week. Like I said, my mom came into town. There was a whole mess of things that are happening, COVID, all that stuff.
Oh, dude. Yeah, man. I had my own share of like family shit going on.
Yeah, yeah, I know. But fuck you. It's my show. I'll do the fuck I want. So
that's right.
Sometimes we don't have one. Go fuck yourself. We're going to get the fuck out of here. Maybe next week. Shout out to Gino. Shout out to Speedweed.
You want to call the shots, donate to Patreon, and then you get a vote.
Yeah, sure.
Everyone else's opinion can go to hell.
Yeah. So Randy, where can people find your ass?
I'm hard to miss. I'm fatter than shit. Aside from that,
sounds like an awesome start to a song. Anyways, go on.
I'm hard to miss. I'm fatter than shit.
It's a great chorus.
Should be pretty easy to hit.
Go on.
Yeah,
it's like right.
I got nothing. Randy Garner Humor on Instagram. Also on Facebook, and Restless Native spelled with an 8 on Twitter, but really don't buy. I'm never on Twitter anymore. I don't know if I'm following the wrong people, but it just seems like Twitter's the place to go when you're pissed off about something. And I can be pissed off without going online. I don't need that. I don't need help. I'm good.
I am at Never Been Funny on Twitter and Instagram, and not very funny on on Snapchat, I guess, if you want that. Pictures of me sitting in my truck. You can follow us everywhere at STM Pod. That's I put the wrong thing. I put Spunk Loom up there. You can follow us everywhere at STM Pod on all things social media, everything network, DramaCityProductions.com. Check out our show. Check out 2.5 Amigos. I almost said 3.5 Amigos. Check out Kelsey Hudgens' show. Check out Amazing Nerd Show. All the fucking great shows on the network. We've got 6, 7, 8 of them. I don't fucking know anymore. But go there, check out all the shows on the network. They're great. Yeah, I think that's it. I think we may have the last 10 minutes. We probably ruined the whole Gino interview. So
Yeah. Well, at least by comparison, he will, he was clearly the highlight of the show.
Yeah. Well, yeah, we had 2 people watching. Now we have 0.
I was one of those people, so don't take it
okay.
too hard.
Well, that's what she said. Okay, moving on. Goodbye.
Bye.
Go fuck